Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Kerry. Kerry is from London in the UK. So let's see what Kerry has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I certainly can. How are you, Kerry?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very well, thank you. I think the weather it's warming up now. I think London, my God, I was come back from work today, and so many people around the street enjoying the weather, the park.
It's
I
20
think
degrees. It's
I know.
hot.
I can imagine.
It was hot. It was freezing cold in my flat though. It was really hot outside, but freezing cold.
I think summer is just here. Summer is just knocking the door. Okay, I want to get in. I want to heat.
Yes, I'm glad it's coming. It's going to be 29 degrees in April.
Oh my God! Wow!
Global warming.
Gary, so before we start the game, tell me where you're from.
Where am I from? Well, I was born in Kingston upon Thames. It's kind of near London. It's on the outskirts, Surrey.
Mhm.
I grew up there, and then I moved to Derbyshire, which was the Midlands.
Mhm.
I lived there for a year, and then I moved to Southampton, and I lived there for 10 years.
Wow.
And I moved to London, was there for about 10 years, and then I went to Sweden for 6 months and lived there. And then I came back to London.
Wow. And why Sweden?
I love the Nordics, to be honest. I love Sweden. There's less people, there's less rubbish. I love the architecture, I love the art and the music and the landscape. It's beautiful. I love it. And I love the people as well.
Yeah, Sweden's a beautiful country. I've been there once a few years ago. It's been a while now, and it was summer as well, and it was amazing,
Oh, the
beautiful.
summers there are amazing. It's like 12 hours of sunshine. Beautiful. Oh, I had the best holiday there. Best. Because I was in Stockholm and the archipelago. They've got these
Mhm.
little islands. You can just go and stay.
Oh
They've got
wow!
these little cabins on these islands, and you can swim around the island. It's so private. It's midsummer there is the best. You can make so many friends there.
I just stay in Stockholm, so I just explored a little bit the city, and yes, it was a good time. I remember, my goodness, it was memorable. Kerry, and what do you do for a living?
I'm a telemarketing manager, so I look after a group of actually the entire European team.
Oh wow!
So I look after their performance, their mental state. I'm just like I suppose a counselor, a manager, a leader. Yeah,
Amazing.
that's what I
And
do.
you're saying that you've been living in London for a few years, and your family they live in London as well.
They did, but they moved out to a small village outside London. So they moved out. So they don't live in central London. But we never really did. We lived in Greater London. It was more Surrey. It's not like London as we know it, as in, the hecticness. My dad worked there. He worked in New Covent Garden. So
Okay.
back in the day, Covent Garden was a fruit and vegetable merchants, and they supplied all the fruit and veg in London. And then, I don't know, it happened in the 70s, I think. They sold it all off, so that's why you get all those posh boutiques. And then they opened New Covent Garden, which is in Vauxhall, and they have a flower market there, and that's where he worked. He had his own business there, and he supplied fruit and veg to the restaurants in London and Buckingham Palace and places like that.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Kerry, so are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share
Oh
your
God. Yeah.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my lovely box full of random fun questions, okay? So
Okay.
before I play the song for us to get a little bit in the mood, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself.
There's so much. I don't know. I could give you the boring one or the interesting one. Or you said
Give me one boring one, something that you think is very boring about you, and tell me something that's very exciting about yourself.
Okay. So, the boring one is that I've written a film, and it's taken me 21 years to write. So, yeah.
This is boring. This is not boring at all.
That's kind of boring. It's taken me 21 years, and it's the first psychoactive film ever written.
Wow.
It contains NLP and magic and stuff like that in it.
For sure, through the game, I'm going to explore a little bit about it. I'd like you to talk a little bit about it, for sure.
Okay.
And tell me something very exciting about yourself, in your opinion.
Okay, well, I have a tattoo that's the one of its kind. It's a penis tattoo, and it's a black sleeve. So that is the most interesting thing about me and exciting. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Right, so I'm just going to play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Yes. Okay, Kerry, so just through the game, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, I always can change, okay? It's all very friendly, okay? First question for you is, what makes you most uncomfortable about yourself?
I think I don't have a filter. So I have an issue with, you should have boundaries. So I tend to maybe tell strangers all my business and all my personal things. I don't mean to do that, but I think the uncomfortable part comes from their reaction when they look at me, and I realize I shouldn't have been talking about that. I think that is the most uncomfortable thing.
So you always have this way of being open to talk about anything with people that you don't know or you never met before?
Always. I think I like making friends. I do like meeting everyone. I think everyone is a possible best friend, I think. So I think that is what drove me as a child, and I still have never really lost that. Always reaching out for friendship. I think
it's a very good thing. I think being approachable and be open, and I think people, some of them, they might take that as like, oh my God, you might be a bit crazy. Some people go like, oh, I like that. I think it's a very good way of making friends and connecting with people.
Maybe, but then some people can take advantage of that as well, because
yes,
everyone's lovely in life.
That's true as well. There's this point as well. Yeah, that's so true. Sometimes when you are too genuine, some people can take advantage of it. I totally agree. I think you need to have a boundary, like a boundary.
That's what I mean. Which I don't have, unfortunately. But I just, you just have to try and manage it. I think that's the thing that I try and do.
But I think the fact that you know as well, that you are aware of it, I think it's a kind of, it's a protection already, because you kind of feel aware. So it's already a good way of protecting yourself, or filter, or when you know who you can talk to about it or open up about certain things that it can be very private.
This is true. With age, I think that's helped.
Yeah.
For sure.
But it comes from a good place. I think it's a genuine place, a gift. People, when they, they trust people, they can talk about, they feel like safe in a way. You know what I mean?
Well, Tarantino said it best. It's not how much you trust someone, it's how well you know them. So I think trust is a falsehood. I think it's really, you do need to know people. I know people, some people you can read them like a well-thumbed book, but I think some people give off fake, let's say a fake representation of themselves. So you have to be wary, you do.
Good. Next question. Let's do it. Kerry, before the next question, tell me what do you like the most about living in London, and in your opinion, what's the most challenging part?
I think the best part of London is that you can be on a bus and hear 10 different languages. You don't need to go traveling around the world. Just be in London, because London is the world. It's so cosmopolitan. I don't think I could live in London for very much longer, and I think the one thing that I will miss is diversity, for sure. Diversity is key in evolution, in social evolution. I think you need it. I think you become stagnant, and it's kind of, yeah, it doesn't do society well if you only have one type of person. You become stagnant, yeah, you do. I love diversity. I love working with people from all around the world. I love it. It's a joy. It is a joy. The most challenging thing, I think, most people in London want the next best thing, whether it's like relationships or business or friendships. You're only there for, I don't know, until they meet or until they find the next best thing. And I think that's the challenging part, where you always have to keep pushing yourself to get better and better, clever and clever, fitter and fitter, sexier and sexier. Do you know what I mean? It's that pressure that you have to be the best all the time.
That's so true. And London, as you said, there are so many people. You always can see people around, but at the same time as well, you can feel very lonely. You know, you see yourself surrounded so many people. At the same time, you feel alone. Around so many people, and you don't find your,
Sad.
It's sad.
It is really sad. And I heard that London has the highest population of single people, which is quite sad. Like in a major city. Which is sad. And I remember working with a girl from Italy when I worked for an optician's, and she was part of my team, and she moved here and she thought it was going to be amazing, and she left in tears because she said it's just a horrible place. She felt so isolated and alone. It was really expensive. The wages didn't really reflect how expensive it was to live in London. Yeah, I think it's challenging, especially with jobs, especially if you're coming from abroad. I think it is definitely challenging for them. Absolutely. I think it would be wise just to raise the pay in London. I know you get London waiting, but I think some companies don't practice that, but I think it should be.
Yeah, I think now, as you said before, I think it's a place that you always need to be the best. You need to work harder. You need to look, you know what I mean, wiser, or you always need to be kind of on the top. Try to be always keeping up with the daily base of London, the day runs. I agree, and it can get us very lonely in a way as well.
For sure.
At both sides, you know what I mean? There's always like that. You have this beautiful way of connect with people, like full of nationalities around, but at the same time as well, you have this loneliness away. So you just need to find a balance of how to deal with that.
Well, also, I read an article today that said, it was in, I think it's the Telegraph or the Guardian. It said that London was the most picturesque city in the world, which I find really, I don't know, strange, because you've got like Italy, you've got, Paris, but London beats them all, according to this article. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Next question for you. Let's do it. What's the best compliment have you ever received?
I remember being in a club dancing to a speaker, and these students came over to me and said, actually they weren't students, they were quite young adults, and they came over to me and said that I was legendary because they used to go to the same club a few years back when they were students, and they were like, oh, we used to go to the club and watch you dance to the speaker. I think that was pretty much the best compliment I've ever had.
Wow.
Legendary. But maybe not in a good way.
I'm sure it was. But when you go clubbing, when you go out, you like to have the time of your life, just like to dance and express yourself.
Yeah, especially next to the speaker, because you get next to the bass cone, and I'm a bass junkie for sure. That's why I'm partly deaf in one ear, because I spent years at festivals by the bass cone, and if I ever lose my friends in festivals, they can always find me. I'm on the left-hand side by the speaker.
I was about to say that it's so easy to find in a dance floor. I know where the right spot where you're going to be.
Always left speaker.
Next question. Okay, Kerry, next question is, by the way, am I saying your name right? Kerry, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Next question for you is, if you could live anywhere in the world, where that would be and why?
I think if I could live anywhere in the world, it would be Japan. For sure. I love the art, the history, the nature, the architecture. If I could live anywhere, it would be Japan, for sure. Or maybe Canada, up in like the mountains, in a little cabin, a lake, nature, animals. Yep, that'd be me. I'm quite happy in nature. It's what drives me, for sure.
Travel to Japan, it's on the top of my bucket list. I can't wait one day to go to Japan and spend at least 3-4 weeks there, just exploring the.
Yeah, you need 4 weeks.
Oh yes.
Well, I'm planning to go maybe next year, because the Studio Ghibli theme park's being built, and it's going to be like their version of Disneyland, but Studio Ghibli. But it looks amazing what they're building. So that's one of the things, one of the reasons why I want to go, because I'm a massive anime fan. So yeah.
Very good. So in Canada, I just came back from Canada in January, 2 months ago. I was there for my best friend got a child, and my godson. So I went to visit.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you. It's the third time I've been to Canada, and but the first time that I went there to visit my godson, and I spent Christmas and was snowing, and New Year's Eve as well. So first
so
time,
beautiful.
Yeah. My God! It's as you're saying, it's the nature there. I remember the first time when I went there, we went camping, and I remember like doing canoeing, camping, and was just like in the middle of nowhere, this beautiful lake, and around was just this beautiful mountains. And I was like, I felt like, you know, the National Geographic Channel, when you see those, I felt like I was there. I was like, oh my God, just looking around, I feel like the National Geographic Channel.
I'm jealous. I would love that. That sounds like my heaven. Camping in nature.
My God, yeah, it's the best. Best thing. Like a therapy. I came back like my body was totally recharged. It's amazing.
It helps the brain for sure as well, and the spirit.
Absolutely, totally agree. I think being in touch with nature is always you know what I mean. It's a good way for you to be connected with your spirit. I agree.
Oh, it drives me. Yeah, nature is, well, it's my God, I suppose you could say.
Next question. Let's do it. Kerry, next question is, what would be the title of your memoir?
My title of my memoir would be Lead Yourself, Don't Be Led, or Lead Others.
And why is that the title?
I think it's important not to lead people. I think you should lead yourself. And yeah, basically it says what it means. I don't like leading people up the garden path. I like them to lead themselves. Yeah.
Fun.
And don't be led. It's important, don't be led. You are in charge.
Very good. Next one. Let's do it. Right, so just before the next one, tell me a little bit about your project that you've been writing. It's a script. It's a script. You've been writing for
Yeah.
21 years. Took 21 years.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Oh, well, everyone's written the best horror film, the best romantic film, the best science fiction film, the best comedy. I wanted to write a different type of film that puts the audience into the film. And it's all about, I suppose, destroying the ego, those archetypes, dismantling those, and building the will and driving the spirit. I don't want to go into too much detail because
Of course.
it's complicated, but yeah, it's taken me 21 years to find different triggers in the film that do what it's meant to do, be psychoactive. And it takes a while.
What has been the biggest inspiration for you to write your film?
I think just to move people's consciousness just a little bit forward. I think if we present something else that hasn't been presented before, it kind of budges everyone forward. It's almost like politics. Marx said, feudalism will evolve into capitalism. Capitalism will evolve into communism. Communism will evolve into socialism, or the other way around. I want to just push it a little bit further. I think, that's what the purpose of the film is, just to push everyone's consciousness slightly, even if it's a tiny bit. That's the purpose.
Very good. Next question is, what does success mean to you?
I think success is feedback from the people around you. I think if you have a positive feedback, let's say in a friendship or a relationship or a business, then that is a kind of success. Money has never really been a driving force for me, unfortunately. That's why I'm so skint. But I would like to maybe learn to see, let's say, wealth as a part of success. I think that's what I'm focusing on at the moment, to drive myself forward for that, put myself in a place where I can earn money from what I do creatively. I think that would be a good aspiration. But I think at the moment it would be feedback from others, the people around me.
You said something very interesting about success can be a relationship with a friendship, can be something with creativity. I think it's a personal thing. Success, it's some people they might feel successful doing something very ordinary that for them is like wow, and maybe for somebody else it's like it doesn't mean anything. So I totally agree. It's a very personal thing, success.
It totally is. Yeah, I think unsuccessful relationships is sad, or unsuccessful friendships, that is sad. And I think you should value them in the sense of making sure that they are successful, for sure.
Okay, Kerry, next question for you. Do it. Next question is, what is the funniest gift have you ever received?
I don't like gifts, so people don't give me gifts very often. So this is difficult. The funniest gift. I can tell you the funniest gift that I gave someone, but
Could
not.
be.
I can't. Well, when I was younger and I was a bit more wild then, and my best friend, I loved her so much, I shaved my pubic hair off and put it in a little tiny bottle and gave it to her as a present. And she still has it. And she says, when you die, we're going to take this and we're going to genetically replicate you from your pubic hair that you gave me years ago. So yeah, that's the funniest gift. But I don't really receive gifts. They're always, if someone gives me a gift, it's always an amazing present, always. Because I'm so, picky, I think. I think to save your money, I like someone giving me, like, if they go abroad, I'll be like, don't buy me anything. Just bring me back something naturey, like a stone that they found on a beach, or I don't know, a seed pod or something like that. I'm way more excited about that. Things just things just clutter your life up, don't they? You don't want things.
What's your star sign or astrology?
I think you should try and guess.
Okay, let me try to guess. I'm talking to you. I'm kind of thinking like what it could be. I'm so bad with that, but
Quite standard. So many people can guess mine.
Yeah. I don't know. You say about your disconnection you have with nature. You can see that you are very laid back. You are very easy to talk to. Very approachable. I can feel that. Gosh, are you? Oh my God, Sagittarius?
No, I'm a Pisces.
My mom is Pisces. Oh my God, true. That makes sense. And it's your birthday just it's this month now, March.
Oh, no, mine was 2 weeks ago. Yep, it was 2 weeks ago. The 28th of February. Is it in 2 weeks? Yeah, it's 2 weeks. I think Pisces is ending now, but you're right. It's mostly March. But...
Yes. Oh my God, amazing. Oh, wow. That's why you come across very calm, like you have this calm voice, this very articulate. You're not, but just the way you talk. Interesting.
Yeah, people say that, but I don't see that as myself. I suppose I do now. I think I do a lot of like little quotes on my on my Instagram thing. So I think I've learned to view myself how I am, because you don't really view yourself every day. You know, you look yourself in the mirror, but you don't really hear yourself or see yourself how you come across to people. And I think doing these little things has made me see, oh wow, I am articulate, I am calm, and my voice is very calming.
You come, yeah. Generous.
I never saw it before.
Wow. Interesting. Ready for another one?
Yep, go for it.
Do it. Before the next question, Kerry, I was checking a little bit your Instagram, yeah? And there was a few words there that got my attention, yeah? Script engineer, you already talked a little bit about. I guess that is about your beautiful project that you've been doing for the last 21 years. Illustrator.
Oh yeah, I'm an illustrator, yeah. I draw a lot. I draw with a very fine pen. And, you know, I'd like to be an artist, but it takes me years and years to finish a piece because I'm drawing millions of tiny little lines which make up the picture. So it's more for just, I don't know, my self fun. I think it's not really to sell. I would like to sell it, but yeah, it takes so long, very long.
I think I'm talking now to a very modest artist in front of me now that doesn't want to shine away, just want to kind of be high.
Well, I have to say, I think my drawings are brilliant, but there we go. I'm not shy or modest, but it just takes so long to draw them. Like it's like Victorian line drawings, but even more intense.
Right. Next word I saw was naturist. Yeah.
Yes.
It's about your connection with the nature.
Yes, absolutely. I love being naked in nature, usually nature reserves or nudist beaches. Nudist beaches are all right, but they tend to be quite packed. I like being in nature, like seeing insects and animals and being with trees and things. It's very freeing just to get rid of your clothes. Right.
Next one now, I must say that next one is it said pagan. Yeah, I must say, I never seen this word before, and I Google it, and I also put on the pronunciation as well because I didn't know how to pronounce this word, pagan.
Oh wow! How did you try and pronounce it when you first saw it?
If I would read, I'm from Brazil. My first language is Portuguese. Yeah, if I would read without knowing anything, I would read pagan.
I kind of like that pronunciation though.
Pagan. But of course, when I went online, I put it's pagan, yeah? Pagan.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about this word.
It's a very broad word that encompasses lots of beliefs. It's basically, I would say, nature-based. You could be Wiccan. You could be. Oh wow! I can't even.
But for you, what's the meaning of this word for you that you post on your Instagram? What represents you this word?
Well, I do practice magic. It's more not really Wiccan, but more classical witchcraft, and my deities are like Pan, the Greek god of nature and the wild, Inanna, a Mesopotamian goddess of war and chaos and love and sex. Also Gaia. I do follow Gaia as well. But yeah, this is my religion, I suppose. Religion, it's not really a religion, it's more of a faith.
A spiritual connection with, I see.
Nature, yeah, absolutely.
And the last one now, unique.
Well, I am unique because I have the most unique tattoo on the planet.
I want to see it. Is easy to show or not? Is easy to see?
What, on YouTube?
No, I mean, actually, wait a minute. This tattoo is in your genitals. Do you know what I understood was in your arm?
No, everyone's got a black sleeve on your arm, a black sleeve on your penis. Come on.
Okay, you cannot show me, unfortunately.
No, I can't.
Maybe one day I go to the nature place.
You'll see it.
I can see it. I'm gonna go. Oh, now I know who you are, Kerry. I didn't recognize you.
Yeah, you can spot me from a mile away.
Now I know. Okay, there you go. Unique because of your personal tattoo.
Yes. It's kind of a joke. It's not like I'm unique.
I know what you mean. Good one. Next question is, what was your favorite part about school?
Actually making friends. I really enjoyed it. Because at home, I didn't really enjoy home, but as soon as I went to school and met all these interesting, lively, wonderful people, friendship was definitely the best thing of school, I think. For my first secondary school, for sure. Just made me just see greatness in everyone. Humans, I think.
Who was your favorite teacher? When you think about which one comes to your mind?
She was Mrs. Bastow, and she was my art teacher.
Wow.
And she just loved my drawings and my paintings, and she was very encouraging. Yeah, she was lovely. She was a lovely teacher. Sadly, she passed away, but yeah, I thought she was great. I remember her name, and I'm terrible with names, so she must have made an impact on me if I remember her name.
For sure. And for sure, she gonna see this interview somehow, and she's gonna feel the energy, and she's gonna smile.
I hope so.
For sure.
I hope so.
I have no doubts. Next question. I remember now your face when I said, "Can I see your tattoo?" You're like, "On YouTube?"
I was like, is it XTube or is this YouTube? Wow.
So funny. Oh my God, your face was the best. Your eyes like, oops, on YouTube.
I know. I was like, oh dear. Like normally I do. I remember one time I was around to some friends' houses, and their mother said, "Oh, can I have a look at it?" Just as like elderly, like grandmother, and I showed it to her, and she grabbed it. Can you believe that? That was really shocking. That was so shocking. I've never been. Actually, that's the most shocking thing that's ever happened to me. When she grabbed it, I was like, "This is strange. This is whoa, personal space."
Next question is, what is the most romantic thing someone has ever done for you?
You know what? I don't think anyone's been romantic, like made like a massive romantic gesture. I don't think. They've given me presents, but not like in a.
Actually,
Yeah.
you could say the lady who touched your.
That was definitely not romantic from my part, anyway.
As I said, for her, maybe she felt like romantic. Oh, I'm gonna touch it just to see how romantic it can be.
Yeah, I just can't think of anything really like.
Not a problem. I can get another one. It's a problem.
Oh, that's sad. That's made me sad.
It's
What a
not sad.
sad life.
It's not sad at all. Next question is, what's your parents' deeds that comfort you the most?
Because they were very they're quite distant parents.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose that in a way, even though was quite, I don't know, isolating and sad, but also it gives you a lot of freedom, I suppose. Too much, that's why I don't have boundaries. But I think that the one thing that I do thank them for is that they said, I don't know if it was out of laziness or whatever, but they said, you choose your own religion. We will not raise you in a religion or a faith. You choose it. And I think that was the best thing that they ever did for me, because, you know, I looked into all religions and all faiths, and I came to the one that suits, I suppose, my nature. Yeah.
I think it's very interesting saying that, Kerry, because you know, parents they tend to kind of not force you, but they tend to encourage you to be in the same religion that they follow for some reason. I think it's a natural thing, isn't it? They want to show what they believe, and a parenting saying that, doing that, I think it's a very unique thing. It's a very interesting as well. Give this freedom for you to follow whatever you feel like, or your heart feels what's right. I think it's a very interesting. Wow, that's amazing. I've got 3 questions left for you, okay?
Oh, okay.
Let's do it. Kerry from London, next question is, if I would ask your best friend right now to define yourself in 1 positive words and 1 negative words, what they would say?
Well, I have 2 best friends. I'm very lucky.
So you can tell me 4 words, 2 for negative and 2 for positive.
Well, the first negative word would be fickle. That'd be 1 best friend, fickle. The other one would say I could be a fairy tale friend. That's not 1 word, but that's 2. That's another negative word. I think positive, just love. I think they would just see so much love that we have for each other. It's not really it's unconditional love.
They live in London as well, your best friends?
1 lives in Parma and 1 lives in London, but she's the one in London's in Sweden at the moment because she's Swedish. So yeah.
Very good. 2 questions left for you. Let's do it. Kerry, before the next question, as I can see how much we are connected with the nature, how much you appreciate being around nature, your connection. You always been like that, or there was a period of your life that you felt connected, or you found more comforting being around nature?
Always in the garden, always. As a small child, all my favorite memories as a child was in the garden, amongst the plants, the trees, the animals, the insects. Dogs, you know, I love dogs, probably more than humans, sadly, but yeah, I love dogs. I think they taught me the emotional bonds that I have as an adult rather than my parents, which can be sometimes tricky navigating in relationships, but because dogs' bonds are very different to human bonds. But I would say Yeah, always taking all my clothes off and running around in the nude in nature, always as a child and as an adult.
Are you most of like be around the beach or on the mountain?
Both, anywhere outside of a building. I love it all. I love the sea. I love beaches, but I like, leaving the beach and then going into maybe a wood or I like both. There's no greater love than between the two, for sure.
Right. Next question is, what makes you the happiest?
I think knowing that I've got a week of not working, I'm going to see friends, maybe lovers, maybe festivals, that time when you could just not worry about work, not worry about anything, be outside, under the sun, listening to music, dancing, having fun with friends. I think that is the answer to that question.
The opposite side, what would make you the saddest?
I think definitely losing friendships and relationships ending. I think that is sad, but you need to grieve, and it never, hopefully, doesn't stay with you forever. But I think losing friends, I think that would be the saddest thing for me. Being unsuccessful, failing. I think, however hard things are, you should always see a resolution, but in life that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you just have to walk away.
Yeah, I think the relationships, it can be tricky, it can be challenging as well, and sometimes it's difficult for you to let it go. It's difficult for you to understand that you can't be there anymore. You know what I mean? It can be very difficult, and sometimes as well, it takes time. Sometimes you don't see the message straight away. You don't see the answers straight away. Sometimes can take years and time as well. But when you look back, you understand that it meant to be this way. But when you are going through, it's not easy to let it go. No, it's not easy at all.
Saying goodbye to people, for sure. But then, like most of my relationships, I've always remained friends with them. I've never there has been a few, but I mean, I never see an end of a relationship, the end of a friendship. I never see it like that, ever.
Okay. Ready for the last question?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Let's do it. Last question, Kerry. But before the last question, as you tell me, your face is like, oh my God, what are you going to ask
Another
now?
question.
Another extra question that I need to answer. So before the last one, as you're saying that, you wrote this script, a movie script for a few years. People watch the interview. Would you like to do the same as well, or just like to write a script? And it doesn't matter. It can take a month, years, week. What would be your best piece of advice for those people who would like to do that, but for some reason they are not encouraged? They are not like, okay, ready. They feel like they're not ready for it.
Wow, my advice would be come up with an idea that hasn't been done before, which is quite difficult. But to think of an idea is not that much pressure on yourself, because all you have to do is have one idea and then work from that. I think also when you get the idea, work on characters. I think it's really important to give your character a framework, an archetype, something that drives them, and then that will help with the drama within the script. I think, start with an idea, then go for characters, then how those characters interact will form a story, I suppose.
Ooh.
And never give up. Just keep writing. Like drawing. Like when I draw a picture, I spend most of my time in that picture rectifying mistakes I've made. So you just keep going, never give up.
Very good. Last question for you is, who is the most influential person in your life?
I suppose my nan. That's living. My nan, I would say. I would definitely not be the person I am today without her. She taught me unconditional love. And just to be caring for other people, even people you don't know. And manners. She taught me manners. Someone famous, I would say, Alejandro Jodorowsky. I can't really pronounce the name very well, but yeah, he influences me massively, especially in art and film and magic. There's no one else like him. He's a lost genius.
What's the name of your lovely nanny?
Thelma.
Thelma.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I was living already in Europe, and I went to live in Rio de Janeiro for 6 months. And I was living in a place with a lovely lady called Thelma as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, very caring.
It's really weird that you called her my nanny, because she would never ever want me to call her grandma, because she said it would make her sound old. So I used to have to call her nanny.
And you know what? Other thing interesting
Weird.
as well. This lady as well. Once in Brazil, you tend to call like elderly ladies like Mrs. Yeah, and she said, "You never called me Mrs. You called me you." Like I was like, "Wow, amazing, so modern." She was very modern. I was like, "Wow, whatever." Yeah,
that's cute.
Kerry's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words, and you just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Love.
Hard.
Money.
Distant.
Family.
Distant.
I had a feeling that you would say that. One word for life.
For life?
Yeah.
Oh, live.
One word for sex.
More.
More and more. Politics.
Redundant.
Religion.
Redundant.
One word for fear.
Absent.
Friendship.
Bonds.
Regret.
None.
Desire.
Fuel.
Ooh. Success.
Success. I don't know. Apparent.
One word for wish.
Wish. Many.
One word for happiness.
Love.
One word for London.
Crazy.
One word for England.
Europe.
Yeah. And the last one now, nature.
Oh, everything.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, what is the most beautiful thing about Kerry, and what's something that he still needs to work on, to improve on? What your best friend would say?
I would say I'd have to work on my mental health more, which I am. And the best thing about me, it's just they would say everything. They wouldn't pick one thing about me. We love each other for everything that we are, even the bad bits. You know, that's unconditional love, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The bad bits make us laugh, and that's how you should see them, because they're only works in progress. They're not something that you should be attached to, and you help your friends work through them, basically. Well, that's what we do, but yeah.
We are a work in progress every single day. Every single day is a school day.
Yeah, of course. When we stop learning, we might as well just climb in the coffin, to be honest.
Yeah, totally. Right, let's play now, Kerry and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. You can ask me a question now, Kerry.
Okay. What was the most exciting day of your life?
Oh my God, I love the question. I love the question. Over 500 people already being on the show, and nobody asked this question yet.
What do they normally ask?
Oh my God, like random things, like a lot of different things. The most exciting day of my life so far, right? It's very difficult because I find every single day so exciting, you know.
That's good.
Yeah. I'd like to think about something very exciting. Okay, right. Besides this show that I do every single day and I just love it, like, my God, it's something that I live by. It's something that besides that, one of the most exciting day of my life, Kerry, it was when I was 19 years old. I had a dream to live in a country where I could speak English every day. I was 19 years old and I had this dream of living abroad, of go after my dreams and give a better life to my family, to my parents. And I remember the first day, one of the very exciting day of my life is, I never forget, I was in the airplane, first time in the airplane. I was 19 years old. I was flying to Portugal, and I lived in Portugal 5 years before moving to England. And I remember it was very exciting this day because first, it was so, was very hard for me to get the money, to pay the ticket, to pay my rent in advance in Portugal. So it was like, my last 2 months in Brazil before I left, I don't remember because it was so intense. I was trying to get this money. I was trying to, and I was working as well. So anyway, the exciting day was when I sat down in the plane for the very first time, and I was with my my lovely friend. I call her, she's my second mom. She's a lovely lady, my second mom. And I'll never forget, we sat down in the airplane, and I couldn't believe that I made it. I couldn't believe that I was going to Europe. And I remember I sat down in the plane and she knew that was my first time on a plane. And I was looking by the window before we took off. And she said to me, "William, do you know how to put the seatbelt?" And I was in another world. I was just like, I was somewhere. My thought was around. And she was like, "William, are you there?" I said, "What happened?" She said, "Do you know how to put a seatbelt?" I was like, "Oh no, can you explain that to me, please?" And she explained to me. But for a few seconds, my mind blew away. I was like feeling this excitement moment that,
wow,
I made it. I'm going to Europe. And
you did it. You made it.
So yeah, that's this feeling when you go like, my God, it's happening now. I'm going. So I think that one was one of the most exciting days of my life, because it was really hard for me to get to this point.
Yeah.
And it was like it's a special day in my heart that I always will remember. And sometimes when I feel when I find myself in a melancholic way or not in the best way, I remember about that day, and it brings me a lot of strength. And you could make
how
it.
far you've come.
Yet. So I would say that day is a very special day for me. So I would go for this very exciting.
You're making me excited just telling me. It sounds great. I love that feeling. Maybe one day.
It's so amazing, like, and it's about the uncertainty. I don't know what was waiting for me here. I was 19 years old, and I was going to a country or a place that I never left Brazil at the time, and I was going on my own. So for me, it was this butterflies, everything was. That's why I had this moment with myself that I couldn't believe that I was doing it, and she was talking to me, and I was lost in my thoughts. And so yes, that's it was a very remarkable, exciting, unforgettable day in my life for sure.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing.
No, thanks so much for making me going through that beautiful day in my life. That's I'll never forget. Thank you.
Good.
Kerry, did you enjoy the interview? Did you have a good time?
I did actually. It was fun. It was nice talking about myself. I never
Great.
tire of it. Yeah.
Good. You were in the right place for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time. Thanks for sharing your memories, for sharing
It's a pleasure.
your point of views, and also for being so open and talk about your private tattoo as well. I think people watch the interview, they're gonna be wondering now, how does tattoo looks like?
Yeah, well.
Well,
You'll have to, I don't know. It's somewhere.
You need to go online on your social media and say, guys, I'm gonna be in this place, like on nudity someplace.
Well, you're not allowed to show penises on Instagram. You can show bums, you can show like top parts, but penises are not allowed. They're so offensive to everyone, unfortunately.
Yes, I've seen some people. They post like naked picture. They always post this like poster on their, hiding.
Yeah, like a smiley face.
Smiley face, or they put like prohibited, some like shy. So there's always anyway. It's the way things are. Before you go, Kerry, if you can share a positive message or a positive quote, something that inspires you in life.
Something like free yourself before you free others. I think that is something that I've only just learned, and I think my friends have too. Because so many people want to help others, but they don't help themselves first. And I think you have to get to a certain place or point in your life where you're able to, because you can't help others until you've helped yourself. That doesn't mean that you should just carry on just helping yourself and then ignore everybody else. Just to get to a point where you're mentally, maybe financially or whatever, in a place where you can. And I think, free yourself before you free others.
Amazing. I love the message for sure. Hope to see you one day in London. Where do you live, by the way, in London?
Ealing, West London.
Okay, I live in South. I live in near in Stratton Hill.
Oh, that's nice. It's a nice area.
Anyway, meet one day for a coffee. We are connected now. Thank you so much for taking time for the interview. Kerry, it was a pleasure. Keep in touch, okay?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.